Greetings everyone, and Great here with another H-Powers 4 replay. Spawn bottom right side as the yellow Chinese with LucifroN, capital N. Spawn top left side as the cyan English with Hill Berries, who may be going for the deer deposit. Pretty rare for they see the English do that. Probably a good idea not to send any more villagers over the deer due to the fact that it does take a bit of time for a bit of traversement, just either for future villagers either collect up gold, which probably one more could be potentially needed, or just continue the villagers collecting up the sheep, which they're down right there, at least one. Seeing how much extra traversement time was to collect the deer, it's probably 2 villagers probably adequate for gold. Sometimes 3 is needed, depending when you start collecting up gold. Either way, got the scout move around, collect some sheep. When it comes to deer deposits, looks like yellow's deer deposits will spawn over here. However, there's no natural barriers. There's natural ambush areas with the foliage. You got quite a bit of trees on the left side of the map, especially for yellow, so there's plenty of natural barriers on the left side of the map. And also yellow also has quite a bit of gold, ore, and stone in this region as well. So very good amount of resources to really entrench on in. Safe wood deposits, plus there's enough space here for a gate. Hero Academy being built, and the Abbey Kings as well. Up north, we do have boar and deer deposits up for the English, but it looks like likely he probably won't touch either. That's pretty common for English, just to roll in with farms. Additionally, you got a bit of gold over here, as this handful of berries. So overall, it seems the English players' resources a bit more spread out. The Chinese is a bit more concentrated in 2 areas, I would say. And we've got the Vatican and Sun there, so we've got a faster Song dynasty. And this will be probably out near this deer deposit as well, so he's going to be eyeing to perhaps collect the deer. Hero Academy is now completed, Abbey Kings as well. English player, is he eyeing for looks like a fast castle. We have an outpost here. King has not been put on field. Song density has been obtained. We see additional town centers being seen. Doesn't look like it. Did try to stop the deployment of the walls there, and we're just going to get those walls going. Castles a bit of walls there, and here comes the king, pushes his way forward. Scout receiving some health benefits from the king, and does from the Vatican of the Sun. So overall, the Chinese player has a good defense region, has walled up the few holes over here, and had the Vatican of the Sun provide good coverage in the other areas of the map. Additionally, it is actually butting up to a decent range towards this natural or central wood deposit as well. Though it's slightly misleading, remember as well, these are not part of the major foliage. This is where the foliage actually is, so it's a little bit misleading how the distance, but still, the Vatican Sun provides some good protection in that region, so he's able to project out this gold deposit no problem. The king and the scout moving around. Looks like yellow doesn't have a whole lot of sheep left. And yellow's scout has no sheep behind him, so yellow just may be running out of sheep relatively soon, so may need to eye those deer soon. Of course, Vatican of the Sun can support up to 8 villagers as a good number for clicking the deer. You can always put 8 there, and then maybe eye also for the other deer deposit. King did try to charge his way forward. The Imperial official does have 75 health, which is, of course, 25 more than a villager. And we got now the White Tower being pulled out by the English. Song Dynasty Chinese player, still no sign of. Does get a good charge attack there. Does get the village inside the village. Very nice. Somehow that makes sense. Villagers tend to go inside villages. But right now the Chinese player is. Oh, that's what he's going. He's cutting a massive amount of stone. Not stone, wood. Not sure what he's eyeing for that much amount of wood. He does have Song Dynasty, so we can get out not pagoda, the granary. White Tower is being built now. Town center being built, as well as a mill, so he is actually eyeing for a secondary town center. That's where a good amount of wood. He still has a pretty large amount of wood in reserve. The English player probably should, he's eyeing for the knights, which is pretty common, but it may be a good idea to also have him eye for a fast monastery in order to get out and grab those relics, since he has basically full map control. And there's a possibility we can get every single relic. We have two relics really close by right here on the other side of the foliage, so a little bit farther away from the English player. Spearman engaging the knight or the scout and the king. Scout down, not big surprise. And the king's going to push way forward. All these villagers are full health. Oh, could have got a good stab attack there if it was in a attack order or attack move order. Does spot some of the knights pushing way forward. Of course, there's no longer a scout for spotting for these knights, so that will cause a bit of issues. Survival technique style being researched. Exiles now being, or has been researched by one of the players. I think it's a Chinese player. I think I've selected. Got these horses backing off. There's no spotting here whatsoever. That's going to cause Science some issues, and he does not have a monk on the field yet either. We see a monastery. Oh, we do not. A bit of wood. And now the Chinese player has 2 town centers in Song Dynasty. He effectively has 2.5 town centers producing. While the English player only has the 1 town center, and he's down by 13 villagers at the moment. We got a good number of knights here, but we got a better number of spearmen. But the knights' quality can be quite high. But even then, that'll be a Pyrrhic victory, which would be better for the Chinese player than the English player, since the Chinese player has a better economy at the moment. See any farms just yet? No, we don't see any farms just yet. He even taking time to collect the berries. And has some idle villagers here. Okay, he does fix that. That can be a big mistake. I'm not sure how long it was like that. 9 villagers there on gold. And now we've got these forces moving around. Spearmen now pursuing these I'm drawing blank. Knights, Scout, and King. And we've got more of the man-at-arms people on the field. They're right now just feudal age man-at-arms, early man-at-arms. The man-at-arms upgrade is on the way. Astronomical clock tower being built with 15 villagers. A good number of villagers building it. Some nested bees can be quite nice against the man-at-arms. Does spot the man-at-arms there. Spearman will be inferior, but he's in good numbers. If he goes for more melee upgrades, it could help him leave it out. That side, I believe, has a blacksmith on the field at the moment. Knights and all of them push way forward. The villager there will be picked on off. Won't get shanked by a scout at the moment. Another villager there as well, but looks like she does manage to back on off. And maybe these villagers going a little bit stupid. There may be some sort of weird deer placement. I'm not sure. Some weird pathing issues got to be a bit attentive about. We've also got a decent number of deer here. There's a monastery. I say it's a little bit late for that, but he still has pretty much full map control, so if he's able to obtain a good number of relics, it will be good. Hence the word good number of relics. Villagers trying to collect the deer. Spearman engaged. Got a handful of defensive crossbows. Knights are here. He does get some villagers inside the village. There's simply nothing in the region here to protect these villagers. A good number will go down. Looks like the spearmen all went down. Or I'm not sure if the actual spearmen went. I don't see corpses. There's a spearman. Scout down. Not big surprise. So far, the English player has cut off 6 of his opponent's villagers. These forces will be pursued. Another man-at-arms there. Now he's taking time to collect these deer, but got 2 wolves. The king is dead. This knight has 6 health, and he will be shanked. A good number of man-arms being deployed in the field. Got the king being redeployed as well. The king is dead. Long live the king. Doris got one monk on the field, another monk on the way. One relic picked up by Sign. I found him. Armor clad appears to have been researched as well. Neither side has any sort of blacksmith research. Man-arms being pursued. And does collect around a stone there. I think he's queued up another town center somewhere. Yep, another town center being built here. Spearmen advance way forward. No siege engineers, nor any siege units. Chinese player has a good number of crossbowmen and spearmen at the moment. English tend to go for a high amount of man-at-arms. You will see all these crossbowmen. Right now, the English player has no real military on the field. The king and scout trying to torch down this gate. And we'll find a bunch of angry men with pointy sticks. Chinese player is going to go for increased range damage and has increased range armor. As of right now, I don't know what blacksmith research to go for. +1 ranged armor is always generally pretty nice to get to survive against town center arrows. But at this point in time, the English player has no army in the field, so he doesn't really need any attack upgrades at the moment. English players tend to deploy out some more crossbows. And they won't be useful gauging anything. Longbows would be generally better at the exact moment. Of course, as with cast efficiency, we have no idea what's going to look in the future. Chinese tend to go heavy in Palace Guard, especially Yuan Dynasty Palace Guard for very fast Palace Guard. This wood's being collected up quite nicely, but it is about to break through. There may be a hole here and there for entry to his base now. Got some economic upgrades and more blacksmith research. No blacksmith research here. Has basic economic upgrades as well. We have a couple round of farms. That is... This one he was collecting berries there, so he put farms next to where the berries were. And I guess that's the efficient usage of this mill that's now somewhat worthless. Even then, it's sort of just not very useful. But might as well make a usage of the mill that's pre-built. No, don't need to delete it. Monk there, getting impaled by the king. And the Chinese player is eating the rest of these berries. There are some more berries over here, as well as Pumbaa. But he will be running out of natural food sources relatively soon. He could try stealing his opponent's deer, as well as boar. But, of course, that has some inherent danger. And look at this. Sino has claimed 1 relic. Yellow has claimed 2 relics and picked up a 3rd. And so I think the English player delayed too long for the monastery and claimed left relics. He could have got all 5, no problem. He had such a good position for that. And the English player could really stand to get those relics if he's especially going to just turtle in with enclosures. To help supplement the gold income, so you have to rely on less on field gold to go along with enclosures. You can always mix in some traders. And there's some natural bounties help protect trade. Primarily this large tree deposit. The king charges his way forward. We'll find a pair of nest of bees. The English player does have a good number of crossbows, so it's crossbows versus crossbows, which is adequate for both sides. The Chinese player has a massive amount of gold and well enough to age on up. The English player has nowhere near enough to age up. And thanks to the Chinese villager production, he has over 100. The English player has not reached the very nice number yet. Scout moving around. A handful of spearmen pushing their way forward. And now Chinese players, or the English players, are pulling some spring golds at his white tower. Monk does take a bit of damage there. Monk takes... That monk just straight up disappeared. I guess he knew something about the Force and died like that. Either way, we now have a good number of spearmen here and even better number of crossbowmen. Bit of walls here to let the nest of bees through. 4 nest of bees, and they're probably all clock tower variant. Yes, they are. There's 2 more on the way, so soon to be 6 the clock tower and nest of bees. That's quite a bit of clock tower and nest of bees. Hive of bees, if you will. And we got the Great Gatehouse not being built, so the Chinese player is aging up. The Great Gatehouse is... Ah, there it is. It must have been right in front of me. I was not paying attention. I was too busy looking at the map trying to find it. Scout takes some bolts there, and a spring gold bolt as well. You will spot villagers clicking with gold, you monster. And now we've got the Great Gatehouse now fully complete. Going for a stone mine as well. He may need to go for a second stone mine over here, because I don't think the surface area is going to be all that great. Beyond not great. He needs to fix that. English player, I'm not sure what he's planning to age up with. There's actually, due to the tree deposits here, there's actually quite a bit of a choke point right around here. So the Berkshire Castle can be quite useful to help lock down the choke point. Or you can either for the Warren Palace and get out some unique elite units. Right now he's fighting against a good number of crossbowmen and spearmen, so Warren Rangers could be excellent. And plus the Palace Guard having less armor, they can also hit them pretty hard. I'm a bit biased towards Warren Rangers. Because whenever I see somebody go for a good number of them, it always feels like they did some good work. And we have now the Berkshire Castle being pulled along the flank. That's helped lock down this entire flank here and help secure this golden small stone. The other large gold deposit, as I mentioned earlier, is actually way down here, so that is going to be soon within the Chinese sphere of influence. I forgot to mention as well, we do also see the ancient techniques, so this would be plus 8% collection rate until it gets to the other dynasties. My man-at-arms and crossbows forward, which will overpower these villagers and spearmen. We also got the elite armor tactics now being researched. We do see elite crossbowmen, no elite spearmen nor elite palace guard just yet. Maybe got a he sees all the man-at-arms are in crossbowmen. I don't think elite armor tactics is actually probably a good idea. He's going for elite palace guard now. Probably going to see battle hardened soon. But maybe a horseman composition wouldn't be half bad. Help you for the crossbowmen. In that case, maybe Fire Lancers? Fire Lancers, they don't get bonus damage against range, do they? They only get bonus damage against siege. Right? Sorry, I'm starting to question myself. Which I do all the time. We do have quite a bit of food and wood for right now. The Chinese player has his 3 granaries up and going. They should provide an excellent amount of food. I don't see Imperial officials to supervise this collection either. A couple erroneous spearmen back there as well. The king is charging his way forward. And the king's stats in Imperial Age should actually be a bit decent. You know, honestly, not really. The king should really have better stats in Castle Age and really, really good stats in Imperial. The king is dead, sniped by the keep. Spoon charge way forward. The Chinese player, of course, is in Song Dynasty, but he has plenty of villagers right now. Now it's probably a good idea to advance to the Yuan Dynasty or the Ming Dynasty. Probably, Yuan Dynasty gives speed. Ming Dynasty, I can't remember if it gives health or damage. Either way, I tend to value health or damage better than speed, but speed does have its place. Or, well, when I say have its place, I mean lack of place, since you keep on moving out of that same place. Does it just move fast? That was a horrible joke. Either way, we got the Imperial Palace now being built. Over here, which will provide him a nice lighthouse, will protect over here. He also has a handful of walls going up. It may be a good idea to build a couple markets over here. You don't have to go for a massive number of traders, just go for a small number at the beginning, just to get that small start. Just get a supplementary traders, which will just make sure you don't ever had a need and unable to receive more traders. Incendiaries is almost complete for the Chinese player, which actually is pretty uncommon. Most of the time you see pyrotechnics and just gunpowder focus. King does go down. The nice thing about going for crossbowmen right now, that they're a bit more cost effective than hand cannoneers. Well, hand cannoneers are a bit more population effective, which at this point in time you may need to go for population effectiveness. But going for the upgrades is probably worth it, seeing how many crossbows he already has in the field. Just going for more crossbowmen and palace guard. Right now, these crossbowmen are doing 31 damage against heavy, as opposed to hand cannons without chemistry is 35. With chemistry is what, 42? Yuan Dynasty now complete, going for pyrotechnics now. Progressing towards hand cannoneer production is not a bad idea. Crossbows engaging. Recipes fires a very good volley there. Annihilates an entire formation. And signed us back of the game as well, losing a huge army to the Nest of Bees. This is Aaron Grade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.